Hello, I'm Brad Simpson with Simpson Limited Collector Firearms, and today I'd like to talk about German training rifles. Now, the training rifle program in Germany started because after World War I, Germany signed the Versailles Treaty, and they were not allowed to manufacture military caliber weapons. Now, Hitler wanted to militarize Germany for World War II to take over Europe, and he knew that if he started right away manufacturing military arms, they would shut him down. So in order to get around that, he started the trainer program, which was to make military-style rifles, just like the 98K, only in .22 caliber, and include them in sporting events and in the Hitler Youth and shooting competitions, so that the Germans were basically training with what would be their military rifle. And again, they're .22 caliber, but they function just the same as the 8mm 98K. Now, the first example, there are a few basic examples. This is a Simpson Model 625. As you can see, bolt action, very similar to a 98, has fittings for a shoulder strap. And Simpson, because Simpson was a Jewish family, the company was nationalized by the Germans, and it later became BSW and Guslav. And then another rifle that they developed, this is the KKW, and it was developed by BSW. And you'll see KKW on the side of it, as you know, with this 625 that I showed you, it's marked 625 on the top. These are also 625A, B, C. They're made by Simpson, BSW, Guslav. The KKW, of course, made by several different companies. And then probably the most common was the DSM-34, and this was developed by Mauser. It says Deutsche Sportmodell on the right side of the receiver. Again, these are all a little bit different, but they're all based on the 98K, so that when you learn to shoot it, you were also learning how to use a military rifle. The last major .22 was the Walther Sportmodell, and this was probably the best of the .22 training rifles, but it was expensive to maintain. Walther would not make them at a price that the German government was happy with, and they would not license them at a price that the government was happy with, so you don't see them made by any other makers like the others. And it's a fairly rare variation. Then, of course, you've got the 4mm. This is a JG Anschutz, and again, functions like a 98K, but it's a much smaller caliber, so it could be shot indoors, and they could train indoors. And then there were also air rifles they could use indoors. This is a Mars 115. Again, although it's an air rifle, it functions like the 98K. And of course, when the Germans commissioned all these rifles to be built, they were developing the arms industry for military production. All of the little shops started up making stocks and slings and components. And by the time this program was finished, all they had to do was switch the caliber over to 8mm, and they were in full military production before there was anything the Allies could do about it. This book is based on a collection of over 1,300 rifles that my father, Robert Simpson, assembled over the course of many decades. And let's go take a look at that collection. So this is a small sample of the 1,300 plus rifle collection that was used for reference to create the book. As you can see, they're organized by manufacturer, model, and then they're in serial number order so that we can see what minor changes were made over the course of production, and we can also see what serial ranges different units had these guns issued to them, whether they were police or Hitler Youth or etc. We published this book, Training Rifles of Third Reich Germany, of course to tell about the basic variations and then the intricate sub-variations, as well as who they were issued to, for example, the Hitler Youth, the police, etc., what serial ranges those appear in. And this book is available on our website, www.simpsonltd.com. The training rifle program was an important part of Germany's militarization before World War II. It allowed them to train an army and build up their rifle industry without setting up red flags for the Allies. If you have any more questions about German trainers or ideas for another video, shoot me an email at brad@simpsonltd.com. And if you're interested in trainers specifically, check out our book, Training Rifles of Third Reich Germany. Thank you.